you, Alexander.
The floor is yours. You can officially start. Guys, enjoy.
Thank you for this great introduction. Hello from my side. My name is Milica. My friends and colleagues call me Mila. Welcome to this meetup. I hope that it will be interesting for you and also useful. When my dear friend Alexander called me to participate to this meetup, I saw it as a great opportunity, not just to share with you my experiences in Agile coaching, but also to discuss with you about your perspectives, and hopefully to come together to some valuable conclusions. So feel free to interrupt me whenever you feel inspired, and just to share your point of view, to ask questions. I think that will be the best way to use this time and to have the maximum value of this hour or so of our time together. I will now share my screen. I would like to just confirm me, please. Do you see my Miro board?
Right now, we don't see your Miro board.
Okay, now you should.
Now it's fine. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Alexander. Yeah, so today we will talk about, I will share with you at least how I use some coaching tools from, let's say, from the coaching process, which is not necessarily agile coaching. In the process of agilization of teams and companies, I will share with you some practices. Maybe you are already familiar with some of them. I hope that you will also hear something new today. We called it navigating the waves of success, because as coaches like to say, coaching is a tool for champions. So we really use it to make success, to gain some high and important objectives, but not necessarily we are always on the top of the wave as we are in this picture. Coaching tools can also help us when the wave is too large and too difficult to us, and we find ourselves on the bottom of the sea, to go up as soon as possible, stronger even than before. Also to escape all the sharks, rocks, and come to the sunlight as soon as possible. So yeah, I will share with you some of my tricks and tips, let's say, and I will also would like to hear your opinion on that, and maybe you could also share your experience with me. Before we dive deeper in coaching tools, I will just briefly tell you my career path that practically led me to this point where I'm working as a Scrum Master and Agile coach in Grow with Agile, which is a consulting agency. I started my career in an HR department many years ago. I would say more than 15 years ago. And that was my first contact with, when we say I like to work with people, that was my first step in getting to know how to work with people. I gained some interpersonal skills, communication skills, all those good things important for the career also later on. And during my work in the HR department, I got familiar with coaching, And I immediately recognized that that is the field where I would like to develop further. So I started my coaching education. The journey that lasts is still lasting. It is, I would say, a lifelong journey because there is always something new to learn, not just from educations, but also from the daily practice. Then I got the opportunity to change my job, and I accepted the work in project management. There I gained a different skill set, more about strategy development, critical thinking, team management. But there, space for coaching, which was my main interest, was very narrow. So I stayed there not for a long time. And as soon as I got the opportunity to get a job in Agile and in Scrum, where I could really use my coaching skills, I catched that opportunity. And then I started studying about Agile methodology, about different frameworks, mainly Scrum. And that brought me to grow it Agile. And as we in team like to say, we build the unique Agile path for individuals, teams, and companies. So yeah, that is basically what I did in past and what I'm doing before. I would say that what is the same in all those boxes is coaching. And previously it was not Agile coaching for me. It was more career coaching and business coaching. But now I use all those coaching skills for the purpose of implementing Agile in the organizations. Okay, in a few minutes, we will go deeper to those tools. I would like now to hear from you, your name, your job, and what are your expectations from this meetup. To simplify things, maybe it is better not to enter the Miro board, but just simply to write your, your answers in the chat. Okay, so you already have names here. Maybe just to add, what do you do for a living and what are your expectations from today's meetup? Alexander, could you please tell me? Okay. Okay, Marco, full stack software engineer, help people build full stack applications, have no previous experience with Agile principles, so it's an introduction for me. Okay, thank you. Alex, sales and business developer, to hear something new and useful about Agile coaching. Okay, thank you. Diana, currently working as front-end developer, goals to learn more about Agile and Scrum. Thea, delivery lead, would like to learn something new about Agile coaching. Great. Okay, anyone else? I will just open my window. Just a second. Okay. Milos currently shifting from a non-profit director position to an independent consultant, expectations, understanding this community better, and application of Agile coaching in the social impact sector. Okay, Milica, same name as mine. BA, some practical knowledge I can use on my job. Okay. Good. And Milica, tell me just what is your job? BA. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Alexei, IT manager, I want to hear something new from coaching experience. Okay, great. I hope that you will be satisfied at the end of our today's session. So, what we will talk about coaching and about Agile coaching. Maybe for the beginning, just to specify the difference between these two concepts, since there is no one correct answer, I would invite someone of you who is maybe in the mood to speak, just maybe to share for you, what would you say, what is for you coaching and what is Agile coaching? Do you have any ideas? Okay, I will not torture you. You came here to listen. I'm here to speak. It's fine with me. When you feel inspired, just switch on your microphones and speak freely. So coaching, according to the ICF, which is International Coaching Federation, a really relevant, I would say, organization when it comes to coaching, they say that coaching is partnering with clients in thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. The process of coaching often unlocks previously untapped sources of imagination, productivity, and leadership. On the other hand, Agile coaching, according to Scrum.org, again, a relevant organization when it comes to Agile and Scrum, they say that Agile coaching is a collection of skills and techniques used to serve people, teams, and organizations for the purpose of enabling agility. The practice of Agile coaching integrates skills and competencies from multiple disciplines, including, but not limited to, coaching, teaching, facilitation, and mentoring. Agile coaching is not only about people, it's about processes, practices, and expertise as well. So, seen from this perspective, Agile coaching is a broader principle than just coaching. In Agile coaching, we have coaching, but we also have here mentoring, teaching, facilitation, and so on. And that's why I told you before, when I talked about my career journey, that I learned coaching, but in order to become Scrum Master, I had to learn also about Agile. So in Agile coaching, we always have as a basis, as our starting point, 4 Agile values and 12 Agile principles. They are all explained in the document called Agile Manifesto. It is very simple and short and concise, and it talks about 4 values that are, let's say, the basis for Agile. And these values are individuals' interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over conflict negotiation, responding to change over following a plan. And since those 4 values are very general, There are also 12 principles that practically help to put those values in practice. Okay, so whatever we do in terms of coaching in agile environment, we do it to support these 12 principles and 4 values. While on the other hand, when we do simple life coaching or career coaching or business coaching, we do not have that boundaries of agile. Agile coach, besides being an expert in professional coaching, also needs to know how to facilitate, needs to have skills in transformation mastery, business mastery, technical mastery, needs to be good mentor and good teacher when it comes to content, because Agile coach practically teaches the organization how to embrace Agile. Okay, that is a little bit of theory behind Agile coaching as a concept. And now we will go to practice, to the moment, what do I, as a coach in an agile organization, do? I would start from the pure coaching process. So the process is like this in every coaching session, no matter the content. We will use it in agile environment, but basically the process looks like this. The flow has a more or less roughly 8 steps. And that process starts with embracing a coaching mindset. What does it basically mean? Every coach, and also coach in agile coach, is not, first of all, a problem solver in terms of someone who needs to solve the problem of the coachee. So coaching mindset teaches us that we are a supportive function. Coach never embrace the success, okay? Because the result is always, responsibility for result is always on coachee. When I say coachee, you can take it as a team if we do team coaching, or one team member that came to us with a challenge, with a problem, okay, that person or that team becomes our coachee while we are coach. What else is a part of coaching mindset? Coach needs to know, both in agile environment and even wider, needs to know that there are 5 rules that are like a prerequisite for a coaching session. And these rules are, here in this visual, they are called Ericksonian principles because Erickson International School of Coaching formulated it, but it is very widely used, also outside of Erickson context. So 5 rules. People are okay. Where they are, what they do, how they feel, it's okay. It's not on us to change that state immediately, to intervene as a problem solvers. Okay, that is the first rule. The second rule, people have the resources they need. They do not need our input. They just need our support, our guidance, or better to say navigation, but they have all the resources on their disposal that they can use in order to make progress. Third rule, people make the best choices. Very important thing for coaching. We cannot choose for our clients. We cannot choose for our teams, for our team members. We can just be there for them through the process to support them to realize what for them is the best choice. Okay. The fourth rule, all behavior has a positive intention. even if they are destructive, even if they are angry or sad, even if they are like confronting very often with their team members, behind all those behaviors, there is a positive intention. They want to defend from something. They want to achieve something from themselves that they need. So we can use that power of positive intention to convert it together with them, to invite them to use that positive intentions for positive actions, not negative ones. And then the fifth rule, change is inevitable. Okay, that state that is currently stressful or challenging or, I don't know, problematic for the team or for the individual needs to change. And we can just support our interlocutor to have that change earlier, faster, and in more effective way with our support. Define a coach position. That is very important in order to have the same expectations. Okay, our team needs to know what they can expect from their Scrum Master, or our organization, leadership of the organization needs to know what they can expect from their Agile coach, what we can do for them, and what, on the other hand, is their responsibility. Expand and explore. When the session starts, we will have team that is frustrated with some issue, or we will have a team who are confused, or we will have individuals who came to us with a problem. We just get the content as little as we need to get the context, and we do not spend too much time in past, because that is not the way of coaching. Coaching looks ahead. We want to have the final goal in mind, and we want to create from that perspective where we zoom out, we broaden our possibilities, and from there we create. Okay, we need to hear about the problem just to get a little bit of details, and that's enough. If our team or our client needs to vent, if they are under stress, if they are they have need to express all those their emotions, we can allow them to, but we do not want to spend much time on it, because this is not a therapy. Okay, this is a coaching session, which is solution focused. So we follow that guidance. Once we have the context, we expanded the possibilities for our coach in order to explore everything that could be done. We establish a desired outcome for the session, both in team coaching and individual coaching. We need to know where we are heading, because when we have a goal, we as coaches know how to move towards that goal, and also our client is focused on what is important for them during the session. Many times, coachee just goes in a different direction from the desired one. We need to know what is our goal in order to invite them to come back to what is important. Sometimes out of fear, sometimes, I don't know, out of distraction, they just take another direction. And then we spend time, valuable time of our coaching session, not to create a strategy to get our goal, but to speak about something that is completely out of topic. So for that is very important. In some coaching schools, they say no contract, no coaching. That outcome for the session is also called a contract for the session. Then we use powerful questioning. We use some very interesting tools to inspire our clients to create for themselves, and also to challenge their plans, their ideas. Because we do not want them to choose the way that they already know. We want to invite them to explore further, to go in the unknown in order to get out of their comfort zone and to grow. Again, we are just there to invite, and then the coachee decides what is the relevant way for them. Formulate action steps. That would be a sixth level of the coaching session. Once at the end of the phase of the inspiration, we know what is the goal, why that goal is important, and how the coachee wants to get there. Then we formulate, we together, coachee, with the support of the coach, formulates action steps. And then very important step is commitment. Because very often our team knows exactly what they want to achieve, but they simply keep failing. That is because there is no commitment. Also, in a one-on-one coaching, you will have probably many situations where you have your team members, your colleagues who come to you if you work as an Agile coach or Scrum Master, and they tell you, look, I have that plan. It is a perfect plan, but I simply never realized it, never accomplished it. And then we talk about values, and we talk about how that plan is aligned with our values and why we are not driven by that values and motivated enough to get our goal. So here, this commitment practically fuels the previous step, because having the perfect plan, perfectly formulated action steps without the commitment is just letters on paper. It has no value. We want to make sure that our client team that we work with or our coachee commits to put action steps in practice. And then at the end, integrate results. Also important step, very often omitted. When we speak about imposter syndrome, this is a step that can prevent it, because we work hard to gain something, and then once we have our goal, we take it for granted. We just say, well, it's normal, it's nothing special. And indeed it is special, and it is a result of the hard work. So what coach doesn't allow for the person to skip this step, but invites instead the person to integrate the result and to, like, say, congratulations to me, I really did a good job, and yeah, I'm proud of myself. That is also one of the parts of the puzzle, how we grow, how the growth happens. Okay, so this is a flow, universal flow, out of context. We can easily put it in an Agile context. So as I told you before, we can put all these steps in a coaching session that we do as an Agile coach with our team or with individuals, with leadership, with team members. Okay, sometimes it could be divided. And for example, we take the first session, introductory session or intake session, where we explain, we define a coaching position, and maybe we formulate a long-term outcome. And then we use this structure to go through each session. Okay, as I told you here at step number 5, inspire and challenge. Here is where we use many coaching tools. There are really many coaching tools. We don't have much time, so I chose 3 of them. The 3 coaching tools that I use more often than others. And these coaching tools are as-if frame shifts, grow model, and business strategy. Just please raise your hands who already heard about these tools, or at least one of them. Are you familiar with those tools? No? No one? Okay, just to know how detailed the explanation should be, that's why I'm asking. Okay, the first one, as-if frame shifts, is practically a group of tools because there are 4 groups. Time shift, we use time shift when we have a person who is completely blocked in present state and doesn't know how to get out of it. When the person has a problem and keeps telling about the problem and keeps explaining how that problem is big and overwhelming and difficult. And we just ask, okay, let's look at 10-year time from here. Where are you? What are you doing? Who is with you? What is your job? Who are your friends? How do you look like? Okay, we basically invite the person. First of all, almost in all coaching tools, we invite our interlocutor to dream together with us. Okay, so every coaching tool is practically a simulation of some kind of desired state or some other time than today, some other system than this system where we have a problem. So we shift from this time where we are blocked to some future time, some point in future. It doesn't have to be, of course, 10 years time from now. It is even better to invite a coachee to define a period of time. Okay, so what is important is to make that shift from the present moment to the future moment. And there in future moment, where we can breathe freely, where we can look without fear, without stress, without anger, we create. We expanded our possibilities. Okay, that is the first one. The second one, system shift. A very practical tool for team coaching, I would say, because it is easily used when you have a team meeting, for example, and you have all your team members who are not satisfied with this and with that, and they have this problem and that problem, and they have issues with external collaboration with some other departments, and they are not satisfied with call center, and they are not satisfied with I don't know what. All those problems you map in, you practically divide a sheet of paper in 2 parts, and you map on one hand side all problems. So this is our current system and it's not working. And then you ask them, okay, if this is the system that does not work well for you, what would be the system that works well? Then they start mapping all those elements, but put in a right way. And then the third part, okay, what can we do in order to get near to that desired state? What I put here, this improvement team, is a tool. Maybe you are familiar with it. If you are part of development teams, it is very often used by Scrum Masters to facilitate team meetings. Improvement team is an old tool. It is from TPS, from Toyota Production Systems, so from, I don't know, 70s. And this tool practically uses this system shift. What do? We define the problem, and then we do not create a solution immediately from the problem's perspective when we have very narrow possibilities. Instead, we defined awesome. What would be the perfect state? So just relax and imagine. And you inspire them to lose their creativity and to write, to design the awesome state. And then from there, you invite them to go back to reality. And you tell them, okay, what would be our next target condition, which is one step closer to the awesome, but is still realistic. And from there, we create action steps. It is very important switch because there is a huge difference when you solve a problem immediately from the problem, or you have problem, you acknowledge it, but then you have a dream, you have a vision, and you create your strategy from the vision's perspective. Okay, does this make sense? I cannot hear you, I cannot see you, and then I have a feeling like I'm talking to myself.
For those who are not shy enough, please be free to turn on your cameras and to say something. It would be very, very nice. As you probably know, this is collaborative session, or lean coffee, if we can say like that, session. So don't ignore this Hollywood's look of our colleague.
I even have my coffee here. So I got it literally as a coffee break together with interesting people to discuss interesting things.
So raise your mugs and let's see each other and let's
Cheers.
talk a little bit. Yeah, cheers.
Okay, thank you, Milica. So that is improvement team, an illustration of system shift. Then we have value shift. Value shift is a little bit more abstract as a tool. It is used for teams that already got used to coaching approach. Otherwise, you will get them very confused. Because value shift works with values, what is really important for you? And then you create from there. Even if you do a coaching session with your team, you still can find a value that team members have in common. Or at least it should be possible. Sometimes maybe it is not. But I think if there are a group of people, a team who works together for more or less longer period of time, they do have a value in common. They do have something that they care very much, all of them. It could be, thank you, Tatiana. It could be, for example, a contribution. Okay, and from the perspective of contribution, in what way you could confront this situation where you had a conflict, for example. how does this conflict that you have contribute to your team's core value of contribution? Okay, you take that value and then you work with it. With powerful question, you tend to align your team's actions with their core value. The fourth one, point of view shift. The point of view shift is a good tool, I would say, rather for individual coaching. Point of view shift, I put here a glass on purpose because you know that famous say, is glass halfway full or half empty? So for someone it is full, for someone it is empty. And when for your coachee the glass is empty, you can always ask, do you know something who would say that this glass is half full? And then you just invite them to see the same situation from the different point of view. Okay, for example, this could be used with children. Okay, can you please, I don't know, when you teach your child to swim, I don't know how to do that, I don't want to do that, or ride roller skates. Okay, someone who knows, what advice could give you? Someone who knows how to do that. What does that person do? Okay, that is that kind of shift. That's even, for example, I have very often in my practice people who are team members who are very stressed out because they have issues with prioritization and they are always overwhelmed with work. They feel as they are extinguishing fires. And then you can just, if you enter in the discussion with them, remember the coaching process. We said we just need initial information, minimal initial information, because otherwise they will keep talking about the problem and lose their time and your time talking about the problem. You don't want that. You want to inspire them to go away from the problem and to create the best strategy for them. So if they have issues with prioritizing, you simply ask them, do you know someone who is really good at prioritization? What does that person do differently from you? Okay, and you immediately invite them to take in consideration that maybe it is not possible. It is not that difficult as it seems. Okay, so any questions regarding as frame shifts? Okay. Let's move to GROW model. GROW is an acronym for goal, reality, options, will. You will recognize here elements from the coaching process that we talked about previously. So establish the goal is practically that contract for the session or desired outcome of the coaching conversation. Could be perfectly used for team coaching and for individual coaching. Then, okay, the person comes to you with a goal. You as a coach invite them to examine the current reality. Okay, what are the resources? What could be possible obstacles? And so on. How does this goal of yours influence other goals you have or goals of other persons who are important to you, who are influenced by your goal? And so on. So you examine practically the current reality. Then you explore the options. What are the resources you have at your disposal to make this goal come true. And then the commitment part, do you remember? We talked about commitment. What will you do to make this plan really strong, really relevant? And what is also very important with Grow model, you need to do follow-ups regularly to check whether the coachee or the team does the action steps that they established. Even if not, it is also legit. Sometimes our goal becomes obsolete. It is not relevant anymore. You acknowledge that with your team or with a team member, if that was individual session, and then you ask them, okay, if this goal is not relevant anymore, what is the other goal more relevant than this? How you will support your core value to continuously grow and, I don't know, learn new things if this goal of yours became obsolete? What is the substitute for that goal? What is the other one relevant? Okay, Grow model is pretty technical. You have predefined steps, so you follow them. It is also very simple, and because of that, very well accepted by the teams and by individuals. And it is very often used when you start your coaching practice with someone. This tool is pretty easy to understand and to follow. And the third one, maybe my favorite one, is Disney strategy. Disney strategy is called Disney because there is a say that Walt Disney, used to divide 3 roles in his company. Basically, he had people whose role was to dream, to create, to imagine. Then there were teams whose role were to criticize, to challenge. And then there were people who had a job whose job was to formulate a plan. And what Walt Disney did very wisely, I would say, is to divide those 3 roles. Because if you unite dreamer and the critic, what happens is that critic kills the dream. So what Walt Disney did, dreamers talked with realists, with the ones who created plans. And then critics challenged the plan, not the dream. Okay? Even when you have, maybe you have also personal experience, I certainly do. I have a personal experience that when I have a good idea, sometimes there is a critic in me who says, no, don't be silly, that's impossible. Okay, and what happens is that the dream just disappears. Instead, Disney strategy says, when you have a dream, make a plan as if that dream could become truth, and then challenge that plan. Okay, go through the steps and just critically think about this is possible, this is not possible. Instead, could be like rephrased in this way to become possible, and so on. This process, so the coach practically invites a coachee to have a dream. And then coach says, okay, you have that beautiful dream of yours. How could you make it become reality? And then the coachee enters in realist position or planner position and creates a plan. And then the coach says, okay, you created a beautiful plan based on your dream. Let's challenge the plan for a minute to see what are weak spots, what should be modified, what should be different in order to become realistic. And then that critic refers to a plan. And then when the plan is modified, the coach invites the coachee again to enter the dreamer position and say, remember that dream of yours that you had? How does this plan look like? Does it still fulfill your dream? What's missing? And then dreamer comments the plan, expands, adds some important things, and then again critic looks to that modified plan. And that process of entering different roles repeats until there is an alignment between the three roles. How does this one look like to you? Is it too complicated? Is it interesting? What do you feel about it?
Yeah, I would say the same as our participants in chat. Very interesting, very Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also very interesting when you work with teams. Try this tool. I really recommend you to try. The first time, team members will be like, what does she want from me? But then once they like sense the power of this imagination, then planning, then like challenging the plan, it becomes really interesting process. And it drives a creativity in them. So it could be used very well. So don't think that it is just for Walt Disney environment and just for flying elephants and those kind of things. It could be used very successfully in also technical environment with development teams, also with different teams out of IT industry. So I really recommend to try it. Okay, so I have a sore throat because I've been talking for an hour. I would now invite you to, I prepared 4 scenarios. These are real life scenarios, something that happened to me in my work, and that I thought could be interesting to discuss with you today. So I will read the scenarios for you, and I would kindly ask you to choose the tool that you would use in each one of 4 scenarios. Okay? Just to like incorporate what we've just heard. Scenario number 1. A cross-functional team struggles with creating a marketing strategy for an important event. Okay. Several members of the team believe that the plan should be innovative and unusual, but several members of the team strongly oppose it and criticize them harshly. Other members are undecided between these 2 opposing currents. The team has been spinning for weeks in a vicious cycle, and the project has stagnated. Let's imagine that you are a Scrum Master for this team. So you have that responsibility to help them, to support them to find a solution using your coaching skills. And you have in your pool of coaching tools, or purse at least, for now you have 3 valuable tools. What would you use here in the first scenario? These are the tools. This happened to me, really. We work a lot with non-IT teams, and this is the situation for pharmaceutical industry. They have cross-functional teams where they have persons who do marketing, people who work with market access and so on, and they all have different points of view, different expertise. So this situation happens. I can imagine also in IT teams who are cross-functional that many times they see the situation from different angles. How would you resolve it? Come on, guys, there are no wrong answers. We can, like, okay, here we have one. Disney strategy, Milica. Okay. Another, someone else. We have one Disney strategy, Disney tool. Okay. Other participants, what would you say? What would you choose? Disney suits the best. Yeah. Yeah, Disney is perfect for this kind of situations where, because each one of them needs to feel heard. And every team member has some good arguments for their point of view. But what is important for the team is come to the best solution for the team. So you can use this strategy because you give space for each of the perspectives that they have. And then going through, okay, now let's be dreamers. Now let's be realists. Now let's be critics. And we like repeat the process. We come to the alignment. Maybe it is not always the perfect alignment, but it can be good enough for the team to say, okay, even if I'm not 100% supporting this solution, I am 95% sure that we have a good solution, good enough. Okay, thank you, perfect. The second scenario. A very valuable team member is dissatisfied with his work environment. Okay, let's imagine senior developer. There are things he likes in his job, like innovative projects, creative freedom, and so on, but also some that are a problem and an obstacle in his work. 2 colleagues in the team with whom he doesn't agree at all, or cooperation with external departments, etc. You are a Scrum Master. That person came to you with all those elements. What do? You are a Scrum Master. You are very good coach also. You have in your coaching arsenal different tools. What do you choose for this situation? Which one? Maybe there is not just one right answer. You could have different approaches also. So he's very valuable for the team. We do not want, our company, our organization doesn't want to lose that person, okay? But on the other hand, the person is not satisfied completely with the work environment. So the company risks to lose that person on the one hand. On the other hand, the person is not fully productive when dissatisfied. So the Scrum Master definitely needs to address this situation. And how would you do that? Come on, we have a little time together, maybe 7, 8 more minutes. Let's use them wisely. No one. One brave okay. How I'm happy when I see
Yeah, I would say
those
that
chat
Alexa is the
boxes
bravest one.
with that. Okay, grow model. Okay, the first one. Okay, let's see how we could use grow model here. Alexei, would you share with us? How would you start the conversation here? Definitely a good answer. Grow model could be used. Okay. We talk to this person about his goals. What do you want? What do you want from this job? What do you want from how do you see your career ladder? Where do you see yourself in a year from now? Okay, here I give, Tatiana said the first one. So time shift in easy frame shifts. This one, did I say, where do you see yourself in a year from now, is definitely a time shift. It could be used also as a part of a grow model. You could use easy frame shifts to inspire your client when you use grow model. Okay, these are simple questions, short questions. You can use them to establish the goal, for example. Definitely grow model, establish the goal, examine the current reality, explore the options, establish the will. And then you help your team member, you support him or her to define their goals, define their direction and their action steps. And then they're less distracted by these, let's say, small distractions or challenges. When they have their goal and they are committed to that goal, then you can create with them a routine where you support them to accomplish their goal and just go more easily through the challenges of day-to-day work. Okay, also the first one, not just time shift, point of view shift also. Can you imagine someone who wouldn't mind all those problems? Do you know someone who is very easygoing and good with people, who would get along with those two colleagues? What would that person tell you? Okay. The third scenario, a manager wants to improve their team sales results by 20% over the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. We also work with banking industry. This is a very common situation with their teams. The tool that we could use here, scenario number 2, a manager wants to improve the team sales results by 20% over the next 6 months. Comes to you, you are a Scrum Master, listen, I really need your support. You've been working with this team for years or for months, you know them well, we need to inspire them. We need to have their commitment on fulfilling this goal. What you can do as a first step is to do a grow model, to go through a grow model with the manager, with the leadership team member. And then once you established action plan for the leadership, for the manager, then you can invite the whole team and do a team coaching session going through grow model. Okay, where you invite them to acknowledge the goal. okay, in this case, goal is top down, but you need the team's commitment and acceptance of the goal. They need to say, yeah, that goal is realistic. We agree with it. We also share that goal. And then you examine a current reality altogether. You explore options. In a sense, you can invite every team member to create the action steps that they could do to contribute to the team goal of improving a sales result. Okay, then you establish the will. You ask them why this is important for them, how will they make sure that this goal happens, and then you do follow-ups. You can do like a short check-ins, 50 minutes meeting, just to ask them how they are going with their action steps. And then you go, I don't know, in a 6-month time, you make a review, you acknowledge your success. And then a team wants to improve their overall sales result in the next quarter. That was practically answered by me in the previous scenario. So you can use a GROW model both for individual and for team coaching. And when you have this situation where you have a manager who has a goal for the team, my advice is always to do 2 separate sessions. One is to create an action plan with the manager, and the second one is to have a commitment of the team to do a team coaching using this tool. Okay. So we are coming to an end of this meetup. It passed like, I don't know, I have a feeling that it lasted for 10 minutes. Time really flew for me. Thank you very much. I really wish you all the luck in your work and many success. And I hope that these tools will serve you both for your personal growth and development and for working with your teams. And thank you very much. Now thank you guys. I now invite again Alexander to join us.
Well, I'm here, and guys, as we usually do, and as you are pretty used to, if there is any question you would like to ask Milica, or if there are any thoughts you would like to share with us related to tonight's session, please, now it's time to do that, because we, as Milica said, are very close to the end of the session. So guys, be free to ask anything or to share anything you would like to ask or share, whatever. Don't be quiet. I don't like quiet endings. Really? Oh, there is Tatiana. Okay, you're welcome, Tatiana. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with us. Still no questions, shared thoughts? I would say we are pretty tired tonight, aren't we? So there must be a reason
it's
for
also
that.
very hot in Belgrade. I don't know about your cities. Here is, I think, over 30 degrees.
Yeah, well, if there is no one who would like to ask any question, Milica, I would like to ask any question. And it is combined question, mixing experience in a private life and experience in a professional career part of life. So if coaching is a tool which helps us to develop ourselves and to make the surroundings around us easier than it really is, could you tell us, is it really necessary to combine private life and professional life with coaching tools in order to be the only correct behavior, to have the only correct behavior and the most stable behavior of your well-being. Or maybe I can say that easier, is well-being of us dependent on coaching tools?
No, of course not. There are many people who live happily without even ever heard about coaching. But I think that coaching can really help. Because I had a conversation with my colleagues today about how it is difficult for us to change some behaviors. And we keep ourselves, as I said here in the example, in a vicious cycle. And it takes just one decision. It takes just to move your steering wheel a little bit on the left or on the right. And you are already set for success. Then, of course, it depends on destiny, happy, call it whatever you like, God, destiny. But really, it is a pity when we block ourselves, when we hold ourselves prisoners of our habits, our fears. And that is where coaching can help a lot. And especially I fell in love with coaching because it is so actionable. It is so practical. I agree that sometimes it takes a therapy. It takes a deeper approach. But many times it is enough just to say to ourselves, you can do it. You can really do it. And you want it. And there is no reason not to try. And you just, that aha moment, that click can change your life. It is that simple. And yet, sometimes for us, when we are on our own, it is hard to realize. That is why the support of the coach could be really a life-changing detail, let's say.
Related with try, I tried to have coaching sessions with you, and I think that's very, very useful information for our participants tonight. So don't be afraid to do that. It's very pleasant. It's similar to psychological treatment or something like that. That's the first thing I asked Milica when Milica was my Agile coach. So there is a great suggestion to all of you to believe in coaching sessions because they can really help you, and they can make your job easier, or if I can say metaphorically, or not at least metaphorically, they can make the pressure around you to be easier and to be at least acceptable. So that's all I can say at the end related to Agile coaching sessions I had with Milica. So guys, if there is no questions, if you don't want to share any of your thoughts, I would like to say thank you very much for participating tonight's session, and we are very glad that we had the opportunity to share some new topic with you. Thank you, Milica, for your time, and thank you for a beautiful and inspiring session. I think we all can make some conclusions according to tonight's session, and I'm pretty sure that we are going to have you one more time, at least one more time, to be our guest on our Agile Humans meetups. Guys, see you next month, next first Thursday in a month, and have a great weekend ahead you. And thank you for participating one more time. Wish you all the best. Stay safe and cheers. Good night.
Bye, guys. Good night. Thank you.